What's up, everybody? Welcome to FC Midweek. Today we're talking about chasing naders. What's up, the internet, and welcome to FC Midweek, your chance to dig deeper into scripture and to hang out with us here at FC. This week, we've got my boy, Michael Ballard, our youth pastor. He's going to be talking about why being a Christian is so much more than, but definitely includes, not being a jerk. You intrigued? Me too. Let's go check it out.
Hello and welcome to FC Midweek. My name is Nicole Ragsdale and I'm the Connect Groups Coordinator. I'm here this time with someone that looks a little different than Justin. This is Michael Ballard, just a little bit. Michael Ballard, who is our youth pastor here at FC. And so can you kind of tell us what's going on with FC students lately?
Yeah, I just go by what people tell me. I don't do anything. No, I'm just kidding. I absolutely love what we do at FC students. We have an incredible group of 6th to 12th graders that love Jesus, that are fun and crazy to be around. We've got some awesome stuff going on during the summer. We just played Kiddie Kickball, which if you've seen the video on Facebook or YouTube, it's just a snippet of what it was. It's a blast. Man, our series right now, we're in a series called Blurred Lines, talking about dating and relationships. And man, it's just awesome. We're about to go to camp in a couple weeks. We've had pool parties and stuff like that. So it's not just revolving around Wednesday nights. We've got stuff going on throughout the week. And so I love what I get to do here every day. I love our students. I love the direction that we're going and the energy that they have. More importantly, the life change that's happening.
Right. And I love that you guys do connect groups, even in the youth.
Yes.
And that stays fluid throughout the entire church because we do value that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why we don't want to feel like we're our own separate entity. You know, we want to do what the church is doing, and connect groups is a huge part of what we do here at FC, and so of course we're going to make that a part of what we do at FC students.
I love it. That's awesome. Can you also kind of touch on what you talked about this last Sunday for your Redneck Series?
Yes, redneck, tornado chasing, and sheep herding. If you haven't seen our Redneck Series, every sermon title has some kind of redneck saying, and so the thought process behind that was, we've seen all the redneck interviews that people give after a tornado where it's awesome. It's really descriptive, but it's not always descriptive about the tornado. It's like, you know, they're throwing out, I saw Travis Meyer, he doesn't know what he's talking about, you know, and like my trailer was flying in the air and it sounded like a freight train, like, you know, and they're very descriptive about the tornado. And what I love about tornado season is those interviews. But it's always interesting to me that once there's been a major storm that goes through, there's a pretty clear path of where it's been.
Yeah, definitely.
And with our lives as Christ followers, I think that a lot of times we try to just fly under the radar and not cause any uproar, if you will, or whatever. But our lives are supposed to leave a path, not of destruction like a tornado, hopefully. If it is, you're doing it wrong, so try to work on that. But more so of the way we treated other people. In John 13, Jesus is talking to his disciples, and he says, people will know that you're my followers by the way you love one another. And a lot of times that's missed. You know, a lot of times, you know, it's too late when we start thinking about the legacy that we're going to leave. You know, it's when you're 193 and you're laying in your deathbed. I hope we all live a long time. But people, it's too late then to start thinking about how you've lived your life.
Definitely.
You know, your legacy starts now. And that's what we were talking about this past Sunday is you've got the rednecks that give the interview about the tornado. If someone were to give an interview about your life, you know, after it's all said and done, what would they say? Would they be able to describe you as someone who loved unconditionally, someone who gave irrationally, someone who served no matter what, or would they be grasping at straws to try to figure out what they would say about your life?
No, that goes perfectly with the Spirit-led life that we talked about too. Like, are they describing your life with the fruits of the Spirit, basically? And is that leaving an impact on the people that you're communicating with daily? I love that. That's awesome.
It was interesting as I was prepping for this sermon. I was asking people that had been servers in a restaurant. So whether they, how long they worked there, it didn't really matter. Someone who had an experience serving.
Yeah.
And I said, what were your thoughts when people come in after church, the Sunday group? And I kind of had an idea of where it was going.
Yeah.
But whenever I got their responses, it blew me away, because I probably talked to 10, 15 different people that had served. And one person said they enjoyed the Sunday afternoon crowd. And the rest of them said they would rather hang out they would rather work a Friday night or a Saturday night when people are celebrating the weekend, when they're out drinking and partying, than they would a Sunday afternoon, because those people were nicer, they tipped better, they were less demanding. And at the Sunday afternoon crowd, the tip was terrible. They were way more demanding. They were a lot less friendly. And it just really showed me that, man, our legacy, a lot of times, we only will help other people when we can get something in return.
Yeah.
And that's not the way it should be.
Right.
And I think that restaurant example is a perfect illustration of us as Christ followers not doing a good job.
Yeah.
And it's disheartening.
Yeah.
Because we're supposed to be the most generous, and people should want to serve us and want to be around us. But when people are saying, I want to avoid that Sunday afternoon church rush,
right,
because it's miserable, that kind of, it's like, man,
an eye opener.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. It made me think of too what you talked about Wednesday night in youth, when you talked about relationships, not only with a dating relationship or a marriage relationship, but you get out of it what you put in.
Yes.
And I think sometimes with relationships with random strangers, if we put it in, we may not necessarily see it immediately, so we don't see the return of that. Yeah. But it may be something that God does in our life, like gives us a new friend or just shows some kindness to us randomly.
Yeah.
So can you kind of tell about that illustration that you did on Wednesday night?
Yeah, absolutely. If any of you guys have a bank account, and hopefully you're not like putting money in the mattresses, you're like, I don't trust the banks. Banks are fine, all right? So it's like, just go with me here. Whenever money is deposited into a bank account, you can only take out that much money.
Right.
If not, you go to the ATM, say you put in $100, you can't take out $100 because it'll say insufficient funds.
Yeah.
Or if you have a debit card and you go spend $200, you'll get back a letter in the mail that says, hey, you owe $17 now because you overdrew your account.
Yeah.
And relationships, whether it's with a close relationship or not, you can only put in you can only take out what you put in.
Yeah.
Eventually that person is going to get tired of you taking and taking and taking. And man, I'll go back to this. What are we doing for those that we can't get anything back from?
Yeah.
It's got to be us helping those people, us loving those people, even if we never see them again. Because what we're doing in that moment is, I'm just keep using the restaurant analogy, people know that you're coming from church. People, they have a pretty good idea. And what kind of seeds are you planting? Right. Are they saying, I don't want anything to do with that? That's how they treat. No, thank you. I'm out.
Yeah.
What kind of seeds are we planting? What are we giving those people? Not expecting anything in return, but just because that's the fruit of the Spirit coming up out of us, the kindness that's coming up out of us because we're following Christ.
Yeah. And that goes back to your tornado imagery too, because if you're just taking, you're going to leave a path more like a tornado than you are leaving benefits for people.
Yeah, and there should be a path. Hopefully it's not one of destruction and meanness and selfishness, but one of generosity and love.
Definitely.
And the cool thing is that your legacy, what you leave behind, extends way beyond just you. Right. My parents I saw them every Sunday or whenever it was as a kid. It seemed like every Sunday, but they would give. I would see them write their check, put it in an envelope, and then put it in we had little bags with the handles, like the velvet bags. You never wore it?
I was Baptist.
I tried to wear the thing as a hat, but my head was always too big, and so it never worked. No comments, please. Don't comment on that. I don't want the size of my head in the video.
Please comment about
if Bobby,
the size
you
of
can
Michael's
edit the size of my head down, that'd be perfect. But
like for Michael's big head.
Yeah.
Like for Michael's big head.
Oh, okay. But I would see them give, and they never made a big deal of it, but I would see them do it. I would see them pay for meals at someone's, at a restaurant. I would see them help people out.
Right.
And my wife and I love to give now, not because of us wanting to get something out of it, but because we saw it instilled, my parents, instilled that in me.
Right.
And that's crazy that they may not have thought that, hey, that's going beyond what I'm doing. And so what's awesome about that is because my wife and I have a heart to give, that's going to go beyond. Not because we're like, man, I hope, everyone notices, but,
yeah,
I hope that legacy continues on when we have kids and to their kids. And what you do now, whether that's serving, helping, whatever you are known for, is going to extend beyond your life. It's going to extend beyond your kid's life. It's going to keep going to generation and generation. So let's leave a legacy of love, one that that points people to who Jesus is.
Definitely. I love that. And with that, we're probably going to wrap up right around now. If you guys like this video and that you guys think that this channel is worth subscribing to, please do so, because it lets us know that we're doing a good job, and we would love to answer any questions or comments that you have down below. So interact with us and we'll interact right back with you. We love what we're doing and we want to be genuine with you guys. So thank you, Michael, so much for coming out and talking this week. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me out.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys next week.